so that's a shift in structure on both assets, a gap on both assets, and an inverse order block on ES, which is paired with a gap. It's going to be an entry off this gap here, and a stop placement at the low for 10 points. That's a tap on ES. Okay, so 63625. Flat 2 to 1. Sell limit 636. So I'd use that first high as a point to trail stops, and then basically everything outside of that is out of our control, obviously. So use that first high as TS. That's basically it. Alright, cool, so that's that. I've got an awful entry on my prop firm accounts, really. I've got an entry at 651, which isn't ideal. Alright, that basically concludes London. Donal C said, lost me funded. What do you mean you lost your funded? We're up 7R on the year. How have you lost your funded, mate? I don't know what's going on with him. So that's basically London all wrapped up there. I showed the bias before the trade. I mean, you guys are watching my stream. I don't understand why sometimes people don't really get it. But yeah, the bias is bullish. You can see that we had a bullish bias, you know. That's you can rewatch the live stream, or if you want to take a look. Obviously the 15's bullish, daily's bullish, 4 hours bullish, simple stuff. Could you start calling out contracts a bit earlier? I was working in the next room. What do you mean minus 2R? Why do you have minus 2R? This is minus 1R, mate. So we're up 2R in this month. Yeah, I mean, I don't call out contracts. As I told you guys, you need to calculate your position size, okay? I do all of the hard work. I literally tell you what trade I'm personally taking. And you can see it's 10.5. All you got to look at is your list that I give you on Discord. And you look at 10.5, you can scroll. Risk management funded, 10 handles is 15 micros for $300 risk. If you want to do 150, then you would have taken it with 7 micros. Alright, cool. I'll speak to you guys for the New York AM session. So I'll be live at 9:20 AM EST. That's the end of London. Speak to you guys shortly. A model could absolutely form here, Tarek. Absolutely. Is the visa not sorted yet? Not quite. So the 5 will go bearish at that point. That's fine. Bullish bias regardless. That's fine. So for today, I've got one trade left in the tank. Obviously, from London session, I took a minus 1R position. So we'll see how we perform during the New York session. Okay, so that's a shift on the Nasdaq. We inverse this order block, which took the low, which is a breaker block. This is very clean indeed. Okay, so there's no gap. That's fine. So we're going to have to wait for price to expand a little bit more. So if price is going to push higher off this bullish order block, it should create another gap, which then we'll take a first presented. We also got another order block here that we can inverse. So ES formed a gap, which is actually good because we inverse this order block. It's paired with the gap on ES, so we don't need anything to be paired with an NQ. Simply it can continue from this bullish order block and form a first presented, and then we'll be able to take that on the Nasdaq. If not, it will just return back to sell stops at the short-term low. So why is the daily bullish? The daily is currently bullish from the inverse, the same bias that we've had over the last kind of week and a half. elite trading, as long as you calculate your position size, correctly, then you're going to be just fine. Okay, so if this candle closes down like this, we'll put in another high, which then we can shift again. It'll be a separate shift. So this first complete shift on ES would not count. So we can make a second shift, 2 bearish order blocks here, also on ES as well. So if we're bullish, we'll continue. If not, we return to the short-term low. It doesn't cause us any loss, essentially. As I said, so the invalidation high comes with context. So when I want to see price shift, I wouldn't want it to see it shift more than this high, because the draws Asia highs. I'm not going to want to look to take a long around IV to then target Asia highs, because my stop loss will be around this area and the risk to reward is not going to be realistic. So it comes with context. It's something that you have to work out yourself. It's not something that is always going to be, mathematically the same every single time, so it comes with context for price, what's realistic and what's not. So as I said, the more times that you kind of watch me, I'm pretty sure you guys can hear me, you can hear me, right? Yeah, so yeah, so that's a failed shift so far. I'd still look for price to shift above this short-term high on the Nasdaq. So we're trading out of this bullish order block and the breaker block as well. Alright, so that's the end of the first day of macro. So now we'd wait for the second. Did I short from the first AM macro today? No. Why would you short in the first day macro? Following this model, you wouldn't short. Maybe if you're trading a different model. I'm pretty sure you guys would be able to monitor price by yourselves now. I'd say most of you guys would be able to identify that was no opportunity. Yeah, I don't really know who commented on my YouTube video, but they commented on the 0% tax video that I put on YouTube. He said, "Hey Milo, I do trade and still hustling 24/7. Okay, so he probably doesn't sleep. My laptop is so old, I can't work properly. Could you please help me, G? I don't want fancy stuff. Of course, just regular office laptop would be a blessing. Love you, man." and thanks for the value that you put in. I mean, look, this is a billion-dollar business, and he doesn't even have a laptop. I mean, look, you need to get a fucking job, mate. You need to go to the warehouse, buddy. He doesn't have a laptop. It's like, mate, I'm just a normal guy who gives a little bit of value on YouTube, okay? And I don't need people to fucking bow at my feet and beg for a laptop, you know what I mean? So that's not how you get anywhere in life. It was gay, yes. Alright, cool. So let me know if you guys can hear me now. Should be good. Elite trading, mate. Look, it doesn't really bother me, to be honest. Look, I put value out on YouTube so other people can benefit from it. I don't expect them to be, crawling up on two knees, So if people find value from my video, then just a like on the video and that's it if they liked it. I never personally coached Ash anyway. I never, I've spoke to him on the phone a few times, corrected a few things, but nothing crazy. We haven't gone on a full mentorship or anything, and he's mostly learnt from my YouTube videos and picked things up himself, like every trader does. They put in the time, they backtest, they understand the model, they improve over time, they scale up, and he's doing very well. Everyone will be in Thailand soon. Shai's already there. I mean, he's in my building. It's quite nice to see that photo, to be honest, because, I don't know, there's something, well, Shai will kind of understand, but there's something therapeutic about looking at that ocean. Only that view gives the same hit. It's like, when you look at that view, I don't know, there's some quiet, kind of chilled music always playing from the rooftop club opposite. Are we serious about a Greece meetup? Potentially. I mean, depends what I have going on. I might be somewhere else. I mean, it's quite far away, so I'll keep you guys updated. We'll see. It's not set in stone, no. What do you mean? You guys can't see the screen? I mean, we're not inside a macro right now, so... yeah, try that now. Should be able to see the screen fine. Should be able to hear the audio, see the screen. Should be all good. I ended the stream. There was 170 people. 100 of them went missing. Yeah, for me personally, it's just that specific view from my apartment in Pattaya is, I don't know, mate, it's just, you don't really get it anywhere else. I get my best decisions, my best thoughts, the best mental clarity, the best food, the best supplements. I mean, mate, I'm not going to fucking talk about it all day, but it's my favourite place, mate. I've only been gone from there for like a week. It's not the same, mate. Vietnam is not a place you want to be. Let me check my application, see how it's going on. I'm back as soon as the visa's approved. I've got a flight on Sunday. But if the visa's not approved, I'm gonna have to book another one. Let's see. How do I check if it's what the process of this? Let me see. I had a couple prop firms reach out to me saying that they want me to promote their firm. So I reached back to them and I got them all text me on WhatsApp now. But I'm gonna see if they would be interested in the firm and I would trade their funds for them. I won't promote their firm, but I'll help them make some money. For trade copiers, try use trade copy instead of trade sync. A trade copier is much faster and more reliable. TradeSynker's fine. I don't have any issues with TradeSynker. It's very good software, to be honest. I don't have any issues as long as you're keeping it up to date and you disconnect and reconnect, then you'll be fine. I mean, it's all, it's your guys' preference at the end of the day. If you want to use Trade Copier or TradeSynker, it's completely up to you. I personally use TradeSynker. I've not had an issue, so there's no reason to change. Yeah, they always got something to say, trust me. I mean, you could be doing really well. I could be on a winning streak. People are always going to say something, or if I have a losing trade or whatever it is. I mean, I post on social media so others can learn and improve. Okay. Not for other people to comment on it. I'm always open to other people who have a lot of experience, and I always listen to what people have to say, And one thing is so important in business is that you never get, too stuck up in your own ways, and you're always open to other ideas, which I'm always listening. It's always really important to listen, but also important to understand who you're listening from, and you'll get very far. Yeah, you can't be hating on Ash, mate. He's doing better than I was when I was 18. I was making money, but he's got a really good amount of accounts. He's even running a live account as well. He's scaling up. He's doing really fucking well. There's no point looking at other people's perspectives or what other people are doing, because the only thing that at the end of the day is going to be significant to you is improving yourself. So you need to look at your own situation and improve. So you have only this week. That's what you have. You have this week. So what are you going to achieve this week? What can you improve inside of your portfolio? You're going to add some more accounts. Last week a lot of people added some accounts on CPI because we passed over 200 accounts. Are you going to look at, you're going to do the 2-day pass? That's what you have, because there's no CPI. You already had that. So, are you going to do some back testing? So there's always rooms to improve. Yeah, I restarted the stream. So we had 200 viewers, and now we got 100, because I ended it and then restarted it. So it should be good. Is it good? Some of you say it's good, some people say not good, Yeah, Jams, don't, one thing I'll say, I mean, look, the robe don't cost nothing, but there's things you don't need at the start of this business, So just, take your time, just scale up your accounts, grow your portfolio and everything, and then you can start looking at different things. I know you say you wasn't going to buy it, but just this is advice for everyone. You just got to take it slow. Even if you get paid out 20k, it's fucking nothing. You get paid out 20k, that's all of it's going to go back into the business. That 20k payout's not going to get you, no robe or nothing like that. Wait, so Jams, you got 33 50k accounts now? That's mad. That's perfect, yeah. So, Jams, what I'll do now... That's perfect, yeah, that's very good, yeah. That's why I hopped on the phone with you, because it's important stuff. And, yeah, one thing I'll say is that I would stay with those 10 evals that you got, work on those, but don't work anymore. Don't overextend yourself. So those 33 accounts, you're talking at least, well, that's 33k payouts minimum every time you cycle it. So work towards at least 50k in payouts, and then look at getting more accounts. You need at least 50, and then once you do 50, then you can get more accounts and get up to where C4 is. But yeah, don't go for too many accounts. Just go for the payout first. Get yourself into a P&L in the bank, and then go for more accounts. That would be my advice. That's the best route forward. Yeah, well, there's going to be, number one, no pressure on yourself. And number two, you can focus on what you have. So just managing drawdowns, building up money in the bank. So now you've got 33 accounts, you've got those 10 evals. So just focus on those 10 evals and then just leave it from there. And then grow the accounts that you have just there. Make sure you're, managing the risk on those accounts correctly, and that's it. Because I already know, Jams, maybe you guys don't know, but he's done a lot in payouts already. And, I hopped on the phone with him, we cleared a few things up, and now he's back on track. 30-40 minute phone call, that's all he needed. But don't expect to make money within, if a month passes and your accounts are still at the same balance, that's fine. The fact you still have your accounts, that's what you focus on. It's all about keeping your accounts and taking the right trades. That's it. Yeah, so Jams, all you need now, and this applies to everyone, is just a whiteboard, and each prop firm that you have, you can just put TPT, MFF, My Fund of Futures, and then you can put, obviously, all of your accounts are pretty much going to run the same balance. So if you've got 5 My Fund of Futures, they're going to be at the same balance because you're copy trading it. So all that you would do is just write the balance, which is just the drawdown. So you'd write the drawdown every time you take a trade. You just update on the whiteboard. So you rub it out, update it, and your risk applies. So obviously, if you're below 1500 or you're at 1500, you're on $150 risk. If you're above 1800 from that point, coming off half risk, then you go to full risk from that point. But you only go full risk at 1800. You don't get to 1600 or 1700 and then go full risk, you know? That's not how it works. Do you guys think it's realistic that I got one payout in 2 to 3 months, and that today is my first day on a new funded account because I have to take the payout to scale? Absolutely, yeah. I mean, you should definitely be expecting a payout within 2 to 3 months. Absolutely. So we're currently a month and a half into the year. We had a 4.5R January, and we're currently up around 2R in February. And obviously, the thing that happened in January affected the drawdown quite significantly for a lot of people's accounts, because obviously we was up 8.6, but we closed the month at 4.5. And that basically sent a few people's accounts most likely into a drawdown, which is a drawdown still in a profit on the account. So yeah. 90-point stop, I would say that would be your max. So yeah, I would say yes, take that trade, but it would be your absolute max. And really, I'd want to make sure that I got a good entry. If it wasn't a good entry, then I wouldn't take it. You know, a big congratulations as well for Jack. You know, he did, I believe he did 100K in a week last week as well. So, you know, big milestones like that. Really fucking good to see inside of the Discord. People making some really big progress. To some people, it sounds absurd, but you know, Jack's been in this business for a long time, and he's been slowly scaling for a long period of time as well. And you can see. cool. So approaching the second day of macro, price came back down and took sell side, which is good. So 4 hours still going to be neutral. Daily's going to be bullish. On the hourly time frame, going to be trading bullish. And on the 15, we're going to be bullish. So overall bullish bias, regardless of the 5, which the 5 the 5 is going to be bullish, and we're actually getting a shift in structure. I don't know where the bias has gone on my screen. Let's have a look. So yeah, a shift above those short-term highs is fine. I don't even know where the bias has gone, mate. I've lost it. Yeah, it says vanished, mate. I might have even deleted it. Alzheimer's is kicking in. So I don't actually care about previous day high. I'll remove that, turn that off, delete that, extend that. Nice shift in structure. We have this bearish shoulder block, was previously respected and is now being inversed. And if ES closes above the high and forms a gap on both assets, that will be a long opportunity that I'll be taking with a stop placement at this low. So it'll be 2 micros half size, 4 on scaled. And that's the half size scaled is 4, if that's what you're running. And then this point here. Alright, so we'll see if we get an entry on this first gap. So the entry is going to be at 503.75. That's what I'm looking for. And the invalidation high is at this point. See, Lucas came in with a fucking sniper there. He had that preloaded in the chat. Alright guys, well, I'm back. I was just sorting out a payout from a firm that I submitted about 2 weeks back, so I'm just getting that. I was just getting it all sorted. I had to send a couple emails, but that's all done. I seen C4 posted a photo in the chat. 81 accounts. I mean, that's absolutely fucked. I mean, that is a lot of accounts, mate. C4's not playing around. I don't even know how that's even possible, mate. But C4's got more accounts than I do. I've been absolutely fucking outdone. Yeah, I mean, last time I counted my accounts, I have 76. But yeah, fucking absolutely congrats to C4. I mean, no, you just got to keep them. Take it slow. I got mogged, yeah. I got mogged. Blue Nox, Apex, Tradeify, Take Profit, Top 1, Lucid, My Funded, Top Step, Alpha Futures Funded next. C4's mogging firms. I mean, C4 has basically bought himself a Euro Millions ticket with that amount of accounts. I wouldn't even want to know how much he's making per trade, but that is it's going to be a very solid amount. He did take it seriously, yeah. Need an update on PvP? Yeah, I mean, C4's in fucking #1 spot, mate. Yeah, we will have an update for the PvP, actually. I mean, if we go to the PvP, it hasn't been updated since around January 12th. Or, no, actually, January the 20th. So we previously had Jack, seriously a high amount of capital. Western, Tommy, C4. Oh yeah, Jams, you'll definitely be fucking up there now, mate. I spoke to Camilla and she's scaling with everything I have. I'm not surprised, mate. Camilla with that 40k Apex payout. Camilla's mogging firms. I mean, I don't actually know of any female traders who are mogging firms like Camilla. So a sweep of buy stops right now. Jack just comes in, fucking, there's more firms. I mean, C4 at that point, mate, I would just, I'd lay off for a little bit. I'd have a breather. Give it a couple months. We actually got a really strong bearish bias, if you didn't already know. But that, well, the overall draw is obviously Asia highs. That's pretty obvious. The equal Asia highs. That's where price is likely in wanting to draw. But the overall bias is actually very strong as bearish. Alright, so inside of the second day macro, we didn't get the trade that we was looking for. It was actually from 508 to 504. A few handles away from actually seeing an entry there. So we didn't see an entry for longs, no problem. And price drawn without us. So we'll be looking at the lunch and the PM. That's basically it. So which one of you guys, my question would be, are trading on a live account at the moment as well? So you got your prop firm accounts. Which one of you are trading on a live? Let's see in the chat. Let's have a look. I've never really asked this question before. Okay, we got Carl Vern. He's trading on a live. Stuart's on a 10k. Carl 15. That's good. That's where you want to start. So, you know, the minimum to start really a live account would be 10k USD. And you obviously be trading on micros and you'd be risking 4%. So if you're anything below $250,000, then you'd be risking 4%. You want to be risking 4%. You wouldn't want to risk more than that, which you could risk 5%, but 4% is the sweet spot. You'll experience drawdowns of 30 or 26% through the year. But you also experience runs when you'll be up, say, 30 to 40, 50% in a single run. Jack's trading a couple lives, also for a few others as well. That's very fucking good. Yeah, so basically, obviously, payouts that you receive, just make sure you reinvest it back into the business and scale up and get more accounts. Until you got around 38 accounts, and obviously, then you can start moving money into a live. I'll speak to you guys for the lunch macro, okay? So we'll see and speak at 11:35 a.m. Okay, so as of now, we've got an overall bullish bias because the 5 got inversed. So we want price, even though Asia highs got swept on ES, which is fine. On the Nasdaq, the draw as of now is going to be towards this high, as you can see, because then we would get the 15 to be trading as bearish at that point. So then we'd have an overall bearish bias. But as of now, the bias is bullish, especially intraday as well, intraday bullish bias. So I see price drawing to buy side first, and then we can see if we get an opportunity for shorts. Okay, so far in this lunch macro, there's not been what we was looking for, a sweep of buy side. You can see prices just likely going to accumulate. I mean, I would expect it to accumulate. To be honest, we've had two huge moves for price, and it's likely going to accumulate, potentially have a run on sell stops in the lunch. It's not that due a run on sell stops really, just accumulate and then draw towards Asia highs on the Nasdaq really. But as far as the bias going bearish on the 15, that's not going to happen until price actually takes buy side. So as price trades towards buy side on the Nasdaq, it will then likely trade all the way to Asia highs, and that would put us outside of macro really. Even though we got 25 minutes, it would have to pick up the pace and take buy side pretty rapidly. So if any of you guys, whilst we're obviously monitoring price and we're currently accumulating, likely going to draw towards buy side here, if you want to put any questions in the chat, then feel free to do so. So the dailies had the same bias for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days. Same bias, still bullish on the daily. As I said in the London session this morning, the overall draw this week on, the higher time frame is going to be bullish towards this unfilled daily bearish gap. So we're bullish towards that area, and then we'll be bearish on the daily until proven otherwise if it gets inversed. So hopefully that makes sense. But as soon as you start to sit there and monitor price and start to speculate different things without a model, okay, and let's say for example some of you guys are relatively new or newer in this space, and you would say for example, oh yeah, but price is going to draw Asia highs on the Nasdaq, relative equal Asia highs, like stuff like that. It gets you nowhere. Okay, it's not taking positions like that or anything outside of the model that you're trading. If you're trading a different model, this model, whatever you're doing, right? Because you're just watching me do my job, and you end up losing your accounts, and you just go back to square one, and then you'll get your accounts again, and then you'll be in a rush, and then you go back to square one, and then a whole year will pass, and you've just got nowhere. You need to keep the same accounts. That's all you need to do. That's it. There's no way this guy's on a plane and he's monitoring price. You found Emirates to be 50-50. Yeah, it is 50-50. I mean, the thing is with Emirates that I've found, well, just any airline in general, but when I'm sat in the seat, I seem to, if I lean forward with my phone, right, and it's on my lap, then I don't get signal. But if I put my phone up face level, then I get signal, because I know that I'm pretty sure they run the Wi-Fi, because when they actually install Starlink, you know, it's not an easy fucking process. They strip the whole plane down and they have to run all of these different cables and shit. It's mad. I only really get the signals best when you hold it at like head level. But yeah, I don't recommend flying on a weekday. That's definitely not what you should be doing. I mean, I always fly on the weekends, hence why I'm flying this Sunday, because I assume that my visa will be done by the end of this week. But you know, if it's not, then I'll book another flight. But it's not a long flight, you know what I mean? So it's fine. I'll end up flying in the morning or some shit. It's only a couple hours. Complete backtesting results for 2022. This is interesting. I've not actually seen 2022's results, so here we have it. Mines. I mean, fucking hell, Mines. He's not playing around. I mean, he's backtested every year since fucking dinosaurs, mate. Alright. Q1 minus 0.36R. Okay, so that's something to fucking note, isn't it? Because, look, if you guys... We're trading Q1 right now, right? Okay. And Q1 so far, we're currently up 6.5R in Q1. So that Q1 there in 2022, and also Q2 inside of 2025 barely made any money for like 4 months. So if you sit there for 3-4 months and not make any money, a lot of you ain't gonna last. You are not gonna last at all. You're full to fucking bits, mate. So the 15 never went bearish. The 15's going back, and it's back to being bullish almost. It never went bearish anyway. Goes bearish at 792. We never got to 792. So that shift lower is not what you'd look for. It's also a 5-minute swing low as well. So Q1 minus 0.36R, so basically break even. Q2 plus 9.81. Yeah, you can see actually in March, March 7.3. So last March I closed up 8R, and the March before that I closed up around 10R, and April was like 20R. But March and April is usually my biggest months, like generically usually. And then we got Q2, Q3, Q4, 25.53R. $41.02. C4 with 81 accounts would have made $1 million without scaling. Yeah. Well, he's actually scaling his top steps as we speak, hence why he didn't take a payout on top step. I told him, I said, look, you want to take 125k from top step whilst they're still around. They actually are going to stay and still be around. They're not going to go anywhere. They've changed a few things. They've covered themselves, so they're doing just fine. Baby Irish, I arrived in Thailand today. Well, whereabouts in Thailand are you, mate? How many hours of backtesting you have? I mean, mine's, mate, he's probably, I don't even want to know. I don't even want to know, mate. But you got to think, mine's is at school, mate, so you know, he's failed his exams because he's been backtesting. Okay, so he's made the right decision. And, you know, if he's at school for 6 hours a day, 30 hours a week, you know, he's putting in some serious fucking hours, mate. He's in Phuket, okay? What do you think about Phuket? I mean, I've never been there. Something about it doesn't really appeal to me. I know people who do live there. You know, Anton Krell lives in Phuket. And my friend Kai lives in Phuket as well. I've never been there. I want to see it, see what it's like. I don't know. See what it's saying, mate. Anton Krell, yeah, he does. Well, he lives in Singapore and he also spends a lot of time in Phuket. Do you use TradeZeller? What do you use? Yeah, I think, you know, mate, mine's is only 18 years old. He's backtested more than half of his life. But, I mean, yeah, TradeZeller, I mean, we all use TradeZeller. Some people use a few other softwares. I mean, like I say, you can use what you want, but I find TradeZeller to be the best. It's my best option, in my opinion. It's nice and easy to use. It's like $50 a month. It's a pretty good price. It's got a lot of features. You know, you can track your portfolios, track everything. I played League since 2015. What is League? What, Premier League or something? Oh, the Legends. Right. Yeah, I had never done that League shit before, mate. You know, a few months ago, well, about 8 months ago, one of my friends acquired a PS5. Fucking smashed it. Don't do games, mate. That PS5, whatever that stuff is, mate. I don't do that. I don't have time for that shit. In my opinion, anyway, I think it's a fucking load of shit. Alright. Well, ES closed up the opportunity for a gap there anyway. I mean, so many people, you know, waste so much time when they're in such bad situations. It's pretty crazy, to be honest. But there's so many other things that your life can, like, the system's set up for you to waste time, and you just accept to waste time. And there's so many things that you could be doing to benefit yourself, even outside of this business. You could be learning so much, you could be doing so much, instead of being on a PS5, or then after this macro then going onto Instagram, doing a load of shit, or whatever you guys do. You know, stuff like that, it's just pointless. It gets you nowhere. You need to always think what the best move is. You know, even when you finish this lunch, what's the best move for you to improve, move forward? Otherwise, you're never going to fucking move forward. You know? Yeah, mind you will have way more time. I mean, you'll be able to fuck off school soon, mate. It's fucking pointless. As long as you know how to speak, you know, English, or you can speak a language, then you don't really need school for nothing else. Obviously, we're inside of lunch, and you can see that price is having a run on stops. Pretty fucking expected. I mean, it's not that expected. It's not like, you know, the New York AM session. This wasn't the bulk of the move, but it's the only move that price can have a run on stops, because it's already ran stops from this previous move here. You see, it ran towards buy side, completed Asia highs on ES. Very clean price action today, I'm not going to lie. It's very, very fucking clean. Very nice to see. We didn't get an opportunity for shorts, which is fine. We was very close to an entry for longs, which we didn't get. That's basically it. I mean, yes, some people spinning in their chairs, but, or some people, you know, trade different models. I mean, I'm only talking about this model, but you can do what you want. What time are we looking for next trade? What do you mean, like what, next macro? Well, the next macro, this one's obviously finished, so the next macro will be live at 1:35 PM EST. So I'll cut the stream here, and I'll speak to you guys for the PM session at 1:35 PM. Because you know when you have a nice PM session, because price would have already swept buy side around 5 minutes before, or it would have already swept, you know, buy side or sell side, whatever it is, about 5 minutes before. Why someone replied to my Instagram story? When will you take a walk around Cancun? Cancun? It's like, brother, that's like on the other side of the world. I'd have to be almost a magician to make it that far. Someone trying to assassinate you, bro. Be careful. Yeah, what the fuck? Wait, I just kind of thought about that message. When will you take a walk around Cancun? Who the fuck even says that? I just fucking thought about it. I thought it was a generic message. Now I've thought about it. Who the fuck is this guy? Let me fucking open this shit. The last time he said something is when I put a video of the Rolls Royce on my story. Let's have a look at this story. What did I put up? The monitoring price. Oh, that was when I bought the car. Okay, so I bought the car. He replied, I would like to make money like you. I'm sure you fucking would, brother. Oh. Oh, it's my barber. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. No, it's not someone trying to kill me. It's my fucking barber. Oh, he's sick. No, he's actually the best barber in the world. He's actually the best barber in the world. Do you guys know this? I've been to a lot of fucking places, okay? He is the best barber in the world, okay? I know barbers in Miami. Phoenix has a pretty good fucking barber, but does not outdo this barber's sick. Yeah, I know 3 good barbers in this world. My barber in Thailand's good. He does the job. He is good. I pay him on a monthly basis instead of, getting the cash out every single time. It's just easier to pay him on the monthly. But, it's also great as well because, for example, in Miami, I pay $50 for a cut, right? So I pay the same Thailand barber $50, but you know how much he actually charges for normal people? He charges like $5 or 6, I can't remember, it's like $5-6. So I always give him around like, about $50 like a haircut. But obviously it's good for him anyway. Fuck that shit. Anyway, so the 3 good barbers, there's one in Miami, there's one in Mexico, and there's one in the UK. That's it. And when I say good barber, like he can turn, I can't even describe it, mate. But when you got a good barber, he'll do a good trim on anyone. Oh yeah, probably his monthly rent. I mean, yeah. I mean that's why I like Pattaya because it goes a long way for these people, and I built a really good community. When I go to different places, and when you're a regular at different places, and I pay them a good amount, they treat you very well. Even if there's like people waiting in line, he's gonna give me a trim. So yeah. What's the name? What? Oh, the C4's set up. C4's got that set up. I'm already learning English, so next time we can talk and have better visit. He's a fucking sick barber, mate. That was the best trim I ever had in my life. He turned a receding hairline into, a poo shiesty 90, well, not even that. We're talking a 75-degree corner. It was the crispiest shit I've ever seen in my life. I didn't shower I showered, I didn't wash my hair for 3 days because I wanted to keep the crispness on the corners. I don't have that trim anymore, so I changed the trim. I sacked that trim off. Wasn't rating it anymore. So we've gone with a new trim, and I'm letting it grow. I mean, it's growing pretty fast, to be honest, especially on GHKCU. I haven't actually taken BCP 157 or GHKCU since I left Thailand. So I'm very excited to fucking get back so I can get my life together, mate. I haven't even been on a litre bike. Actually, that's probably why the dopamine levels have dropped a little bit. It's the fucking bike, mate. Holy shit. We haven't had a bike. Wow. I mean, DJ, if you're watching in this Discord right now, what would you do if you didn't have your fucking bike for about a month? You'd fall to bits, wouldn't you, mate? Well, yeah, the only thing after Asia Highs is, if you look on the... My bike has been locked in my room. Holy shit, why is it in your room, mate? How the fuck did you get it in your room? I'm going insane. Yeah, I'm not surprised, mate. I don't even know how the fuck you got it in your room. No, we only check the bias at 2 p.m. because the 4 hour get inversed. But on Monday, yeah, obviously Monday high. I mean, you know, we don't really need to look at what buy side has been swept. We swept buy stops. That's all that we care about. We look for a shift and that's it. So in this scenario, if you're looking at a shift lower in structure from this point, this is not going to be the invalidation low, okay? Because the invalidation would be this one at 13.35. So yeah, it's a 5 minute swing low, but for price to shift below this low and not take this low, it's just unrealistic. It's not an aggressive shift. So I like to see price shift below both of these lows. That's fine. But not obviously not taking this low, because that's a shift that is far greater than you would call a shift. That had actually prices almost reached, you know, 50% of this actual whole move. So that was essentially what we'd be targeting, would be these 1 minute lows here, or just a little bit further. Oh, mate, it's just a fucking lovely sight, isn't it? I tell you what, DJ, one fucking thing that I was, it's not going to be possible for me to get a fucking super bike in the penthouse, mate, but the one thing that I might just have to do is get some sort of bike in there, because the smell of petrol in your room right now must be absolutely, the dopamine levels are through the roof, mate. You enter your room, you smell dry tires and petrol. I mean, that smell is just fucking, you hit TP all day. That's all you need to smell. That's why I like riding litre bikes. I get on the moped and I was trying to, you know, when you do a cold start, I'm trying to smell the petrol. I can't fucking smell it. You know, it pisses me off. But when I get onto the litre bike, as soon as you turn it on, mate, toxins are just floating through your fucking helmet. You know what I mean? You feel like Ed Matthews. You got to sniff the petrol. I don't know, maybe you guys don't like the smell of petrol, mate, but holy shit. I do like ripping a bike, mate. I fucking miss it. It's been a week and a half. You know, every single one of you guys, you got a picture, something that you really, really like. I don't really know. I can't really put it into words. Pace on to build it in the penthouse. Mate, that would be sick. Like, if I could actually have a bike in the penthouse, that would be mad. Build it in the penthouse. Imagine someone hops in the lift and they just see a fucking engine going up the lift, and then a wheel, then handlebars. Really jokes. 45 miles an hour on a skateboard. Yeah, that's pretty fucking extreme, mate, to be honest. I mean, 45 miles an hour on a bike is not fast at all, but, mate, on a skateboard, that's fucked. That must be an Israeli dog. There's the Netanyahu dog with a lump of APAC payments on his nose. A bike license? You want a bike license? I don't even have a bike license, brother. Who said you need a bike license? The fuck? I never even got a license for a moped. I don't even have a driver's license, mate. I haven't had a driver's license since I was 18. Exposed. all you got to do is, if you do drive in the US as a foreigner, you have to get your, well, obviously you need to have a license. So I had a license and got banned. So what I did is I used my banned license. I uploaded it on this website called IDP, International Driver's Permit, which everyone's probably seen the fucking ad for it. And I got an international driver's permit from my banned license. So I've just used that. Oh yeah, I have an international, here's my international license. Oh, where's your license? Oh, it's in the UK. You know, like we got a license. I've also got another license actually. I don't know where it is. It's a learner's license. But it's called like Tom Bradford. I think he is probably in jail. I mean, the amount of driving, how do you say it, felonies under his name? It's unbelievable, mate. The amount of times Tom Bradford's taken the hit. Poor guy. So we could very much see a shift lower in structure. Now, one thing I want you guys to understand is that the 4 hours completely changed. So previously we was bearish and it got inverse, took the high already, and it is now bullish on the 4 hours. So that's a big fucking change, which is fine. We probably still are bearish. Just look at the daily. That's the same. Okay, unfilled daily gap. That's what we want to pay attention to over the next, few days. As I said, it's the draw, so price is drawing there. So price is still likely over the week to draw higher. And then, so the draw would be for this week, 25,000. All of these unfilled imbalances. So that's pretty fucking obvious. So a lot of people like to point the obvious of, say, a new week opening gap, etc. That would be the overall draw, as outside of bias of what bias is right now. So if we look at the hourly time frame, you can see we respected the bearish gap. So that's still bearish, and then we just have the 15 and the 5 to deal with, which the 15 is still bearish and the 5 probably got disrespected. So you don't really have much to work with because we was previously working with this area. We lost that. It got inversed from this point in price. Yeah. So we're bullish on the 5 towards the next high, which is this one. So we're bullish as of now anyway towards 874.50. Yeah. Where's the bias gone? There we go. So that's the bias. It's actually bullish. So you see, the 2 points that you really want to stay hot on the bias is 10 a.m. EST and 2 p.m. And the rest of it is just managing intraday, 5 and 15. You don't have to, work too hard with the bias. It's only in the starting points when you don't actually understand the bias is that it might feel like price action's coming at you quite fast, especially after the New York Open. You're coming to the first macro, price jump 50 points from the point that you've gone from looking at the 15 to checking the 5 bias. It's already jumped 50 points, so it comes with time. No, so, the idea of the 4 hour being neutral is incorrect because we already took this high, so it didn't meet the draw. So essentially it took the high and then it inversed, so it's drawing higher. Does that make sense? So you don't get a draw. How do I say this? You don't get a draw. I don't even know how to fucking say it, mate. Milo update bias method. What do you mean update? This ain't fucking Fortnite, mate. Mate, I've fucking lost for words for this one, mate. I'm trying to say that you can't get a draw after the draw's been Oh, I don't fucking know, mate. Fuck this shit. Going back to the 1 minute time frame. It already got took, mate. Then we got a draw, and then the draws after that. I don't even know. Fuck the draws, mate. I fucking lost it. I don't even know what I was saying. So with a bullish 5, you know, if we somehow get a bearish 5, how can we do that? So if we inverse a bullish gap like this one, then we get a bearish 5, then we can look for shorts, because then we got bearish bias. That's what you'd look at. It inversed the last gap, so it's bullish. Yeah, so, you know, the 4 hour inverse the bearish gap is bullish towards the next high or bearish gap. But what I was trying to illustrate is that the high that it took before, it got the draw. So it took a high, which potentially could have been the draw, but it took it before it got the draw. And now it's got the draw, we don't use a high that's already been taken. That's what I was trying to say, there you go. So then the 4 hours bullish towards the next, it's always going to be, it's bullish towards the next high or bearish gap. So as soon as you get a draw, it's got to meet it. It doesn't get a draw and, oh fuck, it's been met already. No, it has to get a draw and then it has to be met. Does that make sense? There you go. I got it out eventually. You derive the draw from the last thing that happened. I don't understand that one, brother, but yes, you get the draw from the last thing that happened. Yes. So if you're trading out of a bullish gap, you have bullish bias on that time frame towards the next high or bearish gap. Is the 5 neutral because ES took the 5-minute high from Monday 8:30 a.m.? Let's have a look. So if we look on the 5, we're currently bullish, and we're bullish not from that gap, we're bullish from the inverse, like that, and we're bullish to this high. So some of you guys need to kind of re-go over this way of bias. I suggest watching my free mentorship on YouTube. It's like episode 4. It's like 15 minutes long, and we don't chat any shit at all, and we get straight to the point. So it's like, I think it's episode 4 or something. So take a look at that. I think a lot of people in the Discord who had questions in the past about bias, they watched that video and it helped. So probably best to watch that. I mean, that mentorship on YouTube that I put, it's basically the 2022 mentorship, but without all of the shit, and also a few added things that you need to know, which you don't get from the 2022. So, I mean, you could probably watch it in a day. I mean, the 2022 would take you about a fucking month to watch. You know, it took me around a couple of weeks to go through it, and then go through it, and I watched it 4 or 5 times back in 2022. Obviously, I started with the Market Maker series, but yeah, if you got any questions, let us know. Put it in the chat. You know, even if you think your question's stupid, I don't even care, because it's good that people ask questions. Because some people, you know, I've been in this business for a long time, and sometimes part of me doesn't really understand. If someone asks like such a simple question, I don't really understand why they would ask it. At the same time, it does make sense of why I think that, because some questions that people ask, it could have been really a 5-minute video on YouTube. Which years is the best to backtest? Any year that you choose, really. So you're going to find any year to close out on a profit of what you choose to backtest. Maybe speak to Mines about that one. He's been mining. He's done 2022, 2023, 2024, 2025. And he's not fucking stopping, mate. I don't know. He's put in the work, really. And yeah. And the one thing with Mines is that so when he's looking at live price action, okay, and he's monitoring price, and he's got his accounts, and he's wondering why he's ticking in a drawdown or he's ticking in break even, you know, and he's going for a slow period, the only thing he's got to do is reference his backtesting session and the years that he's backtested. Oh, okay, so this period here, I didn't make money for 3 fucking months. Oh, okay, so this is probably what I'm experiencing now. Okay, obviously not now. You know, we're up 6.5R on the year, but that's yeah. That's why you do it. So you don't just backtest, because you get to a point. Mines understands the model. He doesn't question the model. He understands everything. Okay, but he does it for when you're monitoring price live. It gives you that beginner confidence for when, let's say, you haven't reached 100k in payouts or something, that you can fall back on what's the word, psychology or whatever the fuck it is. He can lean back onto his backtesting and say, oh, so this is the same as what I've had here. Or this is the same. He's always going to reference over. Okay. Yeah, not really too much of an interesting PM session, but it's already over. So hope you guys enjoyed the PM session today. There wasn't anything. Obviously, we had a clean setup and idea of price at the start, and it's not really produced much. So we're going to come to points in price when we get close to taking a position, and it doesn't give us an entry or etc. So I will speak to you guys obviously inside of London tomorrow to monitor the whole day, New York AM, etc. And that's basically concluded today. All right, cool. I'll speak to you guys tomorrow. See you inside of London.